Just bear with me real quick as I read from this document. It's called the Constitution of the United States of America. I am on page 24 of this pamphlet. A lot of us have it. It's the binding resolution that we all agreed upon as being the law of the land. Right here, Amendment 12, it's on page 24. The electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for president and vice president, one of whom at least shall not be an inhabitant of the same state with themselves. They shall name in their ballots the person voted for as president, and in distinct ballots the person voted for as vice president. And they shall make distinct lists of all persons voted for as president and of all persons voted for as vice president, and of the number of votes for each, which lists they shall sign and certify, and transmit sealed to the seat of the government of the United States, directed to the President of the Senate. I'm going to hold there real quick. This matters because we're a nation of law, not a nation of men. We don't have a dictatorship or a monarchy. So a lot of people in the election of 2020 have been trying to figure out here in the United States of America how this all shakes loose. This document, the Constitution of the United States of America, one which I swore to defend and protect in Iraq and Afghanistan and the United States of America as a whole against all enemies, foreign and domestic, lists out what the rules are for the game that we're all supposed to be playing. The President of the Senate shall, in the presence of the Senate and House of Representatives, open all the certificates and the votes shall then be counted. All right, so that's the electorate. The President of the Senate shall, in the presence of the Senate and the House of Representatives, open all the certificates and the votes shall then be counted. The President of the Senate is the Vice President of the United States of America, which right now is Mike Pence. The person having the greatest number of votes for president shall be the president, if such number be a majority of the whole number of electors appointed, and if no person have such majority, then from the persons having the highest number not exceeding 3 on the list of those voted for as president, the House of Representatives shall choose immediately by ballot the president. Okay, so hold on real quick. Each one of our states have our own election process. That's state law, again based on a binding constitution. So the federal constitution in the 12th Amendment is saying that the electors, based on those states, as we voted and collected the vote, which we know that a whole bunch of states are being recounted, and we don't know if it's just going to fall apart as far as, okay, we don't know if we can count all of the votes, or if so many things have been found fraudulent that, all right, we're going to go to the electors. So what does that mean? Well, the president of the Senate, so currently the sitting vice president of the United States of America, could say, unfortunately, we don't actually have we don't have a total vote tally as far as for the presidential election. What does that mean? It goes to the House of Representatives. It says right here, and if no person have such majority, then from the persons having the highest numbers not exceeding 3 on the list of those voted for as president, the House of Representatives shall choose immediately by ballot the president. But in choosing the president, the votes shall be taken by states. The representation from each state having one vote. Okay, so again, it's in the Constitution, the 12th Amendment. The House of Representatives shall choose immediately by ballot the president, but in choosing the president, the vote shall be taken by states. The representation from each state having one vote. Each state has one vote when we do this. A quorum for this purpose shall consist of a member or members from 2/3 of the states, and a majority of all the states shall be necessary to a choice. Okay, so in order to hold a quorum, you have to have 2/3 of the states. So the members from 2/3 of the states. So the question is, which right now it's November 13, 2020 as I'm taking this video. And I'm on, the edge of my seat, as all Americans are right now. I pay close attention to the rules of the game, meaning the Constitution. No, I'm not a lawyer. I swore by blood to defend this and our home, so I pay attention. 12th Amendment states that the House of Representatives, with a quorum of 2/3 of the members of states, so out of 50, 2/3 of those 50 states in the House of Representatives establishes a quorum to vote. And a majority of all the states shall be necessary to a choice. And if the House of Representatives shall not choose a president whenever the right of choice shall devolve upon them before the 4th day of March next following, then the vice president shall act as president, as in the case of the death or other constitutional disability of the president. The person having the greatest number of votes as vice president shall be the vice president, if such number be a majority of the whole number of electors appointed. And if no person have a majority, then from the 2 highest numbers on the list, the Senate shall choose the vice president. A quorum for the purpose shall consist of 2/3 of the whole number of senators, and a majority of the whole number shall be necessary to a choice. But no person constitutionally ineligible to the office of president shall be eligible to that of vice president of the United States of America. Okay, so I kind of breezed through that last part, but look, it's in brackets in the 12th Amendment. And this is what I'm talking about right here. Bottom of page 24, if you're familiar with this pamphlet, and there are a lot of us who carry this around. And if the House of Representatives shall not choose a president whenever the right of choice shall devolve upon them before the 4th day of March, next following, then the vice president shall act as the president, as in the case of the death or other constitutional disability of the president. Okay, so that's the closed bracket. There's an asterisk, essentially, at the end of the 12th Amendment. The person having the greatest number of votes as vice president shall be the vice president, if such number be a majority of the whole number of electors appointed. And if no person have a majority, then from the 2 highest numbers on the list, the Senate shall choose the vice president. A quorum for the purpose shall consist of 2/3 of the whole number of senators, and a majority of the whole number shall be necessary to a choice. So in order to have that choice, you have to have 2/3 of the senators that are there in order to hold the quorum, right? So this basically is if the House of Representatives can't do their job, then it goes to the Senate, and you still need to have a 2/3 of the members there to hold a quorum. Okay, so remember, if this goes all the way through, all right, all the way through to where no one concedes, essentially, then it's going to go to the electors. The electors are in the House of Representatives, but remember, it's not the House by membership that's going to vote. The House by membership, 2/3, needs to be there in order to meet that quorum, the criterion for the quorum, right? But then once they hold that vote, it's based on a state by state. One vote per state. So the elector gets one vote per state. And then the majority winds up winning. See, so it specifically says not exceeding 3 on the list. So the list, those voted for as president, the House of Representatives shall choose immediately by ballot the president. But in choosing the president, the vote shall be taken by states, the representation from each state having one vote. So now, look at the electoral map right now. And look at what is red and blue as far as representatives are concerned, and what actually is the majority based on just the states. Just the states that were won, right? So it's almost, I don't want to say it's a workaround for the Electoral College, which bear in mind, I don't have a Juris Doctorate. I am a citizen of America who is reading the Constitution and bringing this to fellow citizens of America, not a lawyer teaching a law class. So this is what I'm trying to say, though, in understanding this correctly. We're going to have 50 votes in the House of Representatives. And if you look at the electoral map, I believe it's 36, 37, somewhere in that, are red. Okay, so 37 out of 50 are red. Well, now, isn't that over 2/3? Which is necessary for the representation in order to meet for a quorum? So if the current president, Donald Trump, does not concede, it would go all the way to the House of Representatives, who each state gets one vote, and 37 out of those states will vote for Trump based on the electoral map. And just those 37 states showing up, their representatives from those 37 states showing up, blue or red, means that we can hold a quorum. The framers, they just continue to amaze me. I swear. Doesn't it just blow your mind? I do love America, though. I absolutely love this document. Thank you. Thank you. So, we're a nation of law, not men. I care what this says, not what anybody else says. So I want to know what the rules are that are associated with the game. And you can hate those rules all you want, but you can't hate the players that are inside of it for playing by the rules, right? Anyway, I thought this was very interesting. Look at the 12th Amendment. It's page 24 inside of this pamphlet. So I welcome your thoughts. I'm sure that I'll get a lot of them. But that's where we stand right now on November 13th, 2020. Thanks so much for paying attention. Till next time, take care and be well.